Okay. That makes me unhappy. I just got new service yesterday, and it's kind of lagging on my end over here. Not you, me. I'm like, oh. Anyway, I digress. Thank you guys for joining tonight. If you're new here, please make sure you hit that like, subscribe, follow button. Basically, the stalker activation button. If not, thank you guys for coming back. My guest tonight is actor Jimmy Dempster. How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. How about you?
Not too bad. I will say I do love your last name because it kind of sounds like a nickname almost. I don't know, maybe because I'm childish. It's like, hey, it's the Dempster, Dempsterino.
Gee, I've never heard that before. Yeah. No, I get that a lot. Hey, it's the D man, yeah.
There you go.
That's awesome.
I love it. It's great. It's like you were born with your own nickname.
How cool is that, right?
Right? So tell us about some horror projects that you got going on. I saw your IMDb, and man, you look like you've been in a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah, I've definitely had a lot of really great opportunities, man, early on. And actually, there's a lot of stuff that's on deck now. There's some stuff that was shot maybe even a couple of years ago, and then we had to go back for reshoots, and some stuff that's been kind of on the shelf, and a lot of things that before that bullshit hit this year, I was working on a couple of projects, and then they had to kind of get pushed back a little bit. So there's a lot of stuff on deck ready to hit, but I think this time, actually early to mid next year, should be pretty flooded with a lot of projects coming out.
Jeez, I was reading some of your stuff, and you started acting in 2012. You said, or it says on. And you've got a lot under your belt in the past 8 years. That's Devious Maids, The Fate of the Furious, and then a lot of horror stuff in there.
Yeah, I mean, horror, first and foremost, that's my favorite genre, is like that and action. If you could do like action horror, like there's a lot of good action horror films, that's probably my favorite, just because it combines the best of both worlds. But horror, ever since I was a kid, I'm a kid of the 80s, so it was all about the video stores and, renting like Evil Dead and all that good stuff, and Friday, Saturday nights, getting a bunch of pizzas and sodas and shit with your friends, and going to the video store and just meeting everybody, and basically walking up, kind of like now with Netflix. Everybody's just kind of, you scroll through the queue and you find the craziest looking poster you could find, and the best poster art wins, because there's so much out there now that's like grabbing your attention, so it's got to jump out right away. And
absolutely, it's kind of like food. We kind of eat with our eyes first. It's like,
that looks good. Give me that.
Yeah, like that looks really cool. I think I might want to watch that. That looks interesting.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. So, can I ask what year were you born in the 80s? Because I'm an 80s baby myself.
I was 78. So by the end of the 80s, yeah. So by the end of the 80s, like a kid of the 80s.
I gotcha.
I was exposed to all the good stuff at a very early age. I had a really cool father, and they didn't have any like restrictions or anything like that growing up. He would tell me about the cool stuff from like the 70s and stuff like that, and just a late night Rhonda Shear and Up All Night and all that stuff. Catching all the horror flicks on there.
How did your mom feel about the horror stuff? You said dad was pretty cool about it.
Yeah. Well, I grew up with my father raised me. It was a single family.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be disrespectful or anything.
No, not at all.
Trust me, I've had people yell at me before. I'm like, I'm sorry. They're like, you should never assume. Fucking asshole. I'm like, I'm sorry.
That shit don't bother me. I can't complain. I had a really good upbringing. My father it's different because it's funny you mention that, actually, because everybody I knew growing up had a mom, or they had both parents. Like all my friends, and they either had like a mom and a dad, or they just had the mom, and I just had my father. So it was definitely different when it came to hanging out, doing sleepovers, going places. My father would be like, yeah, sure, whatever, I don't give a fuck. Just call me, let me know you're all right. It was back before cell phones or anything. Just like, call me when you get there and let me know you're cool. I noticed moms are a lot different with their sons. And I have daughters, so I'm a lot different with my daughters. But yeah, fathers and sons, they don't give a fuck. Whatever we want to do, go for it.
Boys are a lot easier than girls are. Like, Yeah, like even like the added, I don't know, just my experience with like girls and stuff. It's like once they get 8, they start like turning into something else. It's like I don't think I like you so much anymore. You're not as fun as I thought you were.
It's crazy. I don't know. I don't. I got 2 daughters, and they're into a lot of the same stuff I'm into, and they're definitely their own girls. We got one
Okay.
who's looking at colleges now, and the other one's right behind her. So,
Oh,
but
okay.
there's definitely a lot of me in them. You know, they're into what they're into, and they've been watching this stuff. You got to figure. I started in 2012. I remember there's been times I've come home with like the prosthetic makeup on, and they've been on they've been on set themselves. They've actually been in a couple of projects, so they know how it all works out and stuff like that. I'm just like, that's the coolest thing. I wish I could have done that when I was a kid.
Oh,
I would love
wow,
to.
that is pretty cool. That's a very unique experience.
Yeah,
And
it was.
that's really cool. Ron Purdy says Rhonda Shear, no Joe Bob.
Oh yeah, of course, Joe Bob Briggs, absolutely. There's a whole slew of them. Commander USA, that was a big one too. If anybody out there remembers Commander USA, that guy was freaking. I saw Toxic Zombies. I saw The Pit for the first time on there, and again, they were all edited for TV, but I didn't give a fuck. I was like 10 years old. I didn't know any better. It's later when you rent the uncut versions and you say, "Ooh, this is a little crazier than I remember."
Oh,
Yeah,
real
there was a
quick.
bunch of.
Oh, sorry. Hey, Sean, how you doing? And Jesse comments as far as having daughters go. He goes, I'm outnumbered at home, 4 daughters.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Yikes.
I only got 2, and 2 is definitely
Oh.
enough. I don't know what I do
Oh.
without them, but yeah, 2. My god, my heart's out to you, brother. 4.
Oh, they all look like they're very beautiful, sweet children, but they're also little girls, so they're probably hellacious at home behind closed doors.
Yeah,
No, I'm
girls will be
joking.
girls, I guess.
Right? I'm just joking. I'm sure they're very nice girls, Jesse. Lance also says, "C box trippy as fuck."
Oh, they saw. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah,
And I
we've.
know, no,
Got it.
sorry, I was going to say, I know you wanted to talk about that tonight, so maybe that was like a good segue into it.
Yeah, sure. I honestly I couldn't be happier with the response to that project. Just because the kind of like a brief story behind it. That was it for all intents and purposes wasn't supposed to really be made. It almost didn't because when we shot that a couple of years ago, I was getting ready to leave Florida to come to Georgia. The DP, my buddy Brant, he was getting ready to move to I think Kentucky, and the director, our friend Lee, was getting ready to move to Thailand. So he was going. We were all scattering to the scattering to the 4 winds, you know.
I'm
So
trying to get the hell away from each other quick.
yeah, I know, right? It's like, yeah, this we had a good run here, but let's call it a. No, we were just. It was just we were going to where we felt would best suit our careers, pretty much, and we had a pretty good run in Florida, but Lee had graduated from Full Sail University, and it was time for him to make his big move. And same with Brant, and they kind of did their thing. And we were in the process. We just got done doing a bigger film, a studio feature film, and we said, "Listen, before we do this, we have some time. Why don't we just get together and do a project that's like kind of stripped down, really bring it down to its bare essentials, and just throw in the stuff that we like from all the genres." Obviously horror, psychological horror, thriller, and just kind of see what we can get out of it. And we shot that over the matter of a couple months, and we wanted it to be a little bigger. We were like, we set out for a feature, but with time and money and stuff like that, we had to kind of bring it down to we figured it was the best idea to make a really kind of a kick-ass short film as opposed to a drawn out feature film. That was like, it was maybe a little too long, but so far so good, man. I mean, I've seen it a couple of times. I've talked to people at conventions. I've been at film festivals where it's played. It's actually, I just got a notification before we went on. It's just got accepted to the Horror Movie Awards, which is I think next week or next couple of weeks. So
Congratulations.
it's still doing some festivals too. They just kind of pop up every now and again. It's crazy. Yeah.
Wow. I know you sent me a bunch of like what would you call them? Like not marquees, but like the I don't want to call them ads
Posters
either. I'm sorry.
posters or links to the projects.
Yeah, yeah, and the one it just had like all like the award stuff like all like plastered all over it. I was like, holy crap, that's pretty good.
Oh,
I mean, like I think that's really cool. Like when I see short films, short independent films especially like do so well like that, I think that's awesome because you're not a big billion-dollar LA studio like financing all this stuff. It's independent, it's lower budget, so a lot more goes into it.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we definitely blasted that thing everywhere we could. I mean, I kind of picked up the reins once it was finished, and I had the most time, especially within the last year with everything going on now. I've had more time to pretty much submit that thing out as much as I can. And plus, since it's been available on the Kings of Horror Network, it's a really good platform for that because they got a lot of good stuff on there. People call me, they message me, they say, "Hey, I saw a box, it was great." I'm like, "Thanks, man, I really appreciate that," because you never know. You just put it out there, and if people dig it, they dig it. If they don't, that's cool. Never know.
Yeah. And the excuse me, and on the Kings of Horror on their YouTube page, it's had like an insane amount of views. And by the way, if any of you guys have not seen Box yet and you're interested in seeing it, the link for it to go to the Kings of Horror page is in the description below, as well as links to Jimmy's I always say it wrong, IMBD or DB.
IMDb, yeah, the Internet Movie Database.
Yeah, I always mix it up when I have to say it. But anyway, but yeah, all the links for Jimmy's there. There's several links for Box, all that. So you guys feel free to go and check all of that out if you have not already.
Cool deal. Yeah, absolutely. Do that. Check it out.
Sean says, is Box on Vudu or Prime? I'm definitely going to have to check it out. There's a link in the description if you want to go over to the, I mean, I don't know. Is it on Vudu or Prime?
Yeah, it was actually, we were talking with Vudu, and then we ended up going with Kings of Horror, and it was just a better fit. They had a better algorithm. They just had a better exposure for that. But it's still free. It's a YouTube channel. Yeah, Kings of Horror. It's a channel on YouTube. They not only check out Box, they have a ton of great stuff on there, short films and feature length films. Like for the horror fan, it's definitely it's kind of like Tubi is another one that has great horror selection.
Yeah. Or Film Riot.
Yeah, or like rare movies. That's like a kind of like a hidden gem. A lot of people, they're like Netflix, and I'm like, yeah, dude, have you checked out Tubi? Because they have the ads, whatever. But
well, you grew up on that shit. I mean, what's the you dealt with it for what, like 30 years, and now all of a sudden there's like a 10-year gap where we didn't really have to watch commercials if we didn't want to, and now we just complain about it when we see it. It's like, why are we? It's like,
yeah, that was TiVo and DVR started that. I was like, I'll just DVR and watch it later. But I mean, you can't watch a YouTube video now without 2-3 ads popping up. You want to watch a music video or a clip or something like that. So yeah, whatever. Just watch the ads. But I don't know if there's any ads on Kings of Horror. There might be. There might not be because it is monetized.
I don't remember if there was or not. But I didn't get to watch all of it.
But did you see the end?
No, I didn't get to finish it because I'm on 8 to 10 podcasts a week on top of I work now, so I'm like, my time is really crunched. But I did get to watch part of it, and I will finish it because now
you gotta watch that end.
Yeah, it's gonna bug me. It's kind of a thing I do to make sure that I will finish something. Is because it'll bug me to not know what the ending is. It's like I can't not finish a book. Like I have to finish a book once I start it because it will drive me nuts if I don't figure out what the ending is. So it's in my head.
The only good thing about books is like you have a better chance of somebody not spoiling it for you the next day. It's a TV show or like movie or something like that. People just talking. You have to completely like shut out everything. You can't go on social media. You can't talk to your friends. Did you see that? I'm like, nope. I don't want. Anytime I get a message, like I'll get a message saying like, did you see? And I'll just like block it. I'm like, no, I didn't. Trust me, you'll know when I did. I'll call you. We'll talk about it.
Oh man, yeah, that's one of the crazy things about just everything being so instant, if you will. I guess we can just instantly put everything we want on the internet, and it's just there. We don't have to call each other to get the information anymore. It's just spit it out
Yeah,
there.
it's so readily available. The instant gratification thing. Yeah.
Mm.
So if anybody in the chat has seen Box, don't spoil it. We'll talk about it on another show.
Well, for anybody who hasn't seen the movie yet and hasn't maybe seen anything about it yet, would you be able to maybe give the plot of the movie?
What the hell? Oh, okay, I thought there. For Box, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the film starts off with a guy. Wakes up in a car. You don't know if it's like a Lyft or an Uber ride. He's getting dropped off somewhere, or he thinks he is. And he's basically wakes up and he finds out that he's in the back seat of a car in the middle of nowhere. And the driver gets out and starts to attack him. And he narrowly escapes that murder. It's like an attempted murder, and he gets away by accidentally killing the guy. Not really a spoiler. It's just the beginning of the film. And then he, not knowing what to do, he drives off and he dumps the body, and he like drives home, rushes home, and feels that he's safe. And he's like, okay, that was kind of nerve-wracking, but at least I'm good now. Except for when he gets to his house, he's got this large box on the front step of right out in front of his house, and he's looking around like, what? Is somebody punking me? Like, what the fuck? What the hell is this? So he doesn't know what to do. So he brings the box in the house, and then from there on, it kind of unravels into this psychological thriller, horror, supernatural kind of thing, where almost like the Fight Club kind of thing, where it's like if you pay attention to little hints here and there, you'll be rewarded at the end, kind of thing.
I love movies like that. Yeah, I love movies like that.
Everything. Yeah. That was one of the reasons why we wanted to do it, because so many movies now, it's like, boom, jump scare, loud bang, a door slamming. You open the medicine cabinet, there's nobody there. You close the medicine cabinet, and boom, like Blumhouse. It's like, oh god. And we really didn't want to. There's some of that. There's some good scares in there, but we wanted them to feel earned. We didn't want them to be too. There's no slamming doors or nothing like that. You know what I mean? We want it to be kind of legit. So,
okay.
Yeah, turn the lights down and the volume up and check it out.
Sean says that it sounds awesome. Definitely checking it out. So
perfect. Thanks, Sean.
And I'm definitely going to finish it.
Yeah, no. By the end of the show, people are gonna be messaging you like, "Yeah," I'm like, "No," and I didn't.
I'm turning the phone off after this. I'm like, "No!" I'll grab my pizza and go sit on the couch and finish it. So did you guys write this collectively, or was it just, like group thoughts, and then somebody just went and wrote it all out?
Yeah, we started off. We just started brainstorming, and we said, "Okay, what do we like about the genre, and then it just kind of snowballed from there." We just played off each other. We're all really familiar with each other. We've known each other for a couple of years at that point, and we've worked together before on a couple of projects. So we really knew kind of, we felt comfortable working with each other, and we just would throw ideas at each other. We get together in between auditions and working and going on projects and say, okay, who's got time this weekend? I do. And it was only the three of us, very small crew. My daughters are in there. They have like cameos, a couple of their friends. One of them is the main girl, I guess you'd say, the Bella Ulrich out of Florida. She's done pretty well since then too. She's really cool. She plays the girl, the main featured girl in the project. And it was just one of those old school things, like family, friends, let's make a movie kind of deal. And it just, like I said, it really surprises me how, not that we didn't think that we had a decent project, but it really does surprise me how well it's done. And, like you said, without being heavily funded and promoted and, no payola, nothing like that. We just couple festivals and word of mouth, and
it just
couldn't be happier. Yeah, I mean, it's getting there. It was up for about maybe 3 or 4. It was up for about 6 months on Kings of Horror, and then it got demonetized. It got pulled off because it was a copyright. Yeah, like about 4 or 5 months ago, there was it says, I think, almost a year it's been up there, but it hasn't. It's only been up for maybe less than half of that, because for a good half of the year, it was pulled down. It was blocked because supposedly something with the musical score. And I had to work that out, and I had to send them the paper and say, no, look, did the score. Lee bought the rights to that, and then other stuff in there is classical music that is way beyond the rights of. They're pretty much what do you call it?
Royalty free or whatever.
Royalty free kind of thing. Anyway, so once it took them forever to get that figured out, but once it did, that's when we were looking at Vudu and and Amazon and stuff like that. But luckily they fixed it, and so far so good. I think it's pushing. Last time I got the email, I think it was pushing like 70,000 views or something like that.
Yeah, it's
in like less than 6 months, so it's pretty crazy. Yeah.
That is awesome. When the bullshit clears up a little bit, do you plan on maybe hitting up some conventions to promote the movie, or are you just kind of letting it do its own thing?
Yeah, I mean, so far so good. Like, again, and that's in the middle of the pandemic, so I haven't really had too much time to do a lot of that stuff. A lot of the conventions, I miss the convention so much.
I know.
I did a lot of them when a couple of shows would hit, and then I had a movie that would hit, and we'd do a bunch of them, and it was just, I love it because that's where you get to meet the real fan. And like I said, Box and a couple of other projects have played at these festivals and conventions, and people see the movie and they come over to the table and you talk with them, and we're all fans. You know what I mean? So I get it. When I've been on both sides of the table, and it doesn't matter if you're in a movie or if we're all fans. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
and yeah, I've noticed that. Actually, I think pretty much everybody in horror can say the same thing that's been to conventions, is that those are like the best conventions to go to. Like, everybody is so cool. Like, doesn't matter if you work in an office or if you're a mechanic or if you work, it doesn't matter what you do. Everybody, just likes everybody. Everybody's cool with everybody because we all like the same shit.
That's it. It's the one place I think where you go. We first started doing them in Florida. They had what was it? They had I think Spooky Empire. The Spooky Empire was in Orlando every year back like 2000. Before I even started doing anything, it was like in 2009, 2010 when we first moved to Orlando, and we went there, and I was just like, this is freaking awesome, man. This is, like I said, before I had any intentions of doing anything, because it's one of those times people start working on their costumes like early January, and then they make their own weapons. They wear like a lot of cosplayers. They'll do up all their stuff. Some of them, they'll go as like superheroes or people from movies, or they'll make their own shit. It's really freaking awesome. It's really creative. And again, a more loyal fan base, I don't think you're ever going to find. It's like they don't have comedy conventions or like rom-com conventions or
rom-com conventions.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anybody would go. Like, who the hell wants to see that panel? You know what I mean? Where the fuck's Bruce Campbell? Like,
Right?
I don't want to watch Julia Roberts talk about, something for 2 hours. Yeah, maybe
they pass out tissues and chocolates at the doors.
Yeah, it's sponsored by Lifetime.
Right? Oh, Jesus. Oh my gosh. Ron says, I don't know. I almost got into a fist fight with somebody over a copy of I Spit on Your Grave with Joe Bob Briggs commentary at Days of the Dead in Chicago. No shit, really?
Oh wow. Is that going back to is that going back to the how everybody's cool and loyal? Yeah, like, for the most part. For the most part,
people are the most peaceful and friendly and open people in the world. It's like, I'll fucking kill you. Give me that.
Yeah, give me that. I want that commentary, you son of a bitch. That's insane. That's freaking nuts.
But that's dedication and that's passion, right? That's loyalty.
Yeah, no kidding. I have to have that package that's not opened yet and signed by Robert Englund or whoever. Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. You never know what you're gonna. Yeah, you never know what you're gonna see at a con.
Oh my gosh. And is there anything that you would like to talk about, like specifically? Because we're kind of coming up on time, and I don't want to skip anything that you wanted to talk about. I know you want to talk about Box, but was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Yeah. I mean, I just had. What do we got? I got a project we just wrapped called The Fury. Ooh. That's actually, you said you're in LA? You're in California?
I'm an hour and a half north of LA.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually out in California now, getting getting the finishing touches put on that project. I'm in there. Lilo Brancato from A Bronx Tale and The Sopranos is in there, directed by Victor Rios. Great director. Love that guy. That's getting the finishing touches, like I said, put on. It's like an old school crime action thriller, like a throwback to the kind of like gritty grindhouse revenge vigilante kind of thrillers of the 70s and 80s.
Oh, is there Quentin Tarantino torture in it?
Oh, all kinds. I'll give you one guess. The guy who's doing the torturing. Oh yeah. That's what I got. That's what I got. That's what I got hired to do. I got hired to kill people.
Dempsterino over here. He's gonna handle some shit, alright?
That's one. Surprisingly, I haven't done yet. I haven't played like a gangster. I've auditioned for it a bunch of times, but I never get cast as the gangster.
I can see you as a gangster. I could totally see you. Like, I mean, because no offense, but you look like somebody I would not fuck with in an alley. So, and I used to fuck with people.
Well, I'm going the other way. That's good.
It's like, I think Taco Bell was that way, guys. Let's go that way.
I don't know about that guy. Nope, I'm going the other way. Fuck that. Yeah. So basically that, and then we pick up a project, Killer Babes and the Frightening Film Fiasco. That is going to be the one for the fans. That is going to be one for the ages. It's essentially, if you take a look, I'll send you over a link if I haven't yet. I don't know if I can't remember if I have.
I don't think you did. Just for Bob.
It'll be up on the IMDb, and then but if you take a look at the cast, and anybody listening in the chat, check out Killer Babes and the Frightening Film Fiasco. Look at the cast. Oh my God, it's like a. Speaking of conventions, it's pretty much a horror film convention come to life. I mean, I think we got everybody in there. But like Kane Hodder and like Robert Englund.
Nice.
Linnea Quigley, Debbie Rochon, Lisa Wilcox, Jenna Cannell. I mean, like just a whole list of. It's gonna be a kick-ass flick, man.
Nice.
And
oh,
that should be out next year.
Oh, nice. Okay. And Jesse says, I've worked with Vincent Pastor, big pussy. So sorry, I had to say it that way if I was gonna say it.
Big pussy. Hey.
If you're gonna say it like that, because it's not too classy for a lady to be saying shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you spent a little time in Jersey. I could tell with the accent. That was actually good. That was really good.
I'm just kidding.
You said you're an hour and a half from California. I think you originally from Jersey. That was good.
No. What happened?
Huh?
No, I'm sorry. What was the last thing you said?
Oh no, he's talking about Jersey. That was a really good Jersey accent.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, sir, we are coming up on the end of the show here. That was fast. I know. When I can remember to, I try to ask people a couple of questions at the end of the show. One would be, if you got to choose how you died in a horror movie, how would you die?
Oh, wow. I got my head slammed in a barn door.
Ooh.
Well, it's kind of funny because I've actually had it happen in the movie. So I guess, it was a horror movie with, it's called One Night of Fear. I think it had a release, and then I think they're looking at distributors now, but spoiler alert. Yeah, my head got slammed multiple times in a big barn door. It was pretty crazy. And I got to choose how I died, believe it or not.
Really? So you chose that?
Well, I don't know. It's like kind of like a minor spoiler, but my character is the good guy, and he kind of has to be the hero. So he runs out there to save my girlfriend and her friend, and I kind of come at the killer guy. And there was, we've had beheadings in the movie. We've had people get stabbed, all kinds of cool stuff. And he said, how do you want to go out? He says, it has to be something out here. So I said, I thought of the Chainsaw Massacre, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where the dude walks in and you first see Leatherface for the first time, and he gets hit in the face with a sledgehammer or with a mallet. And he's twitching on the ground. Yeah, and he's like convulsing and twitching on the ground. That's what I brought to it. I just had a bunch of shots of my hands twitching and my feet, and so I was like, that's pretty cool. It's bloodless. It's a bloodless kill, but it was more psychological than anything. So I guess if I had to choose that or like be set on fire.
Ooh, okay.
I'd like to be set on fire.
Okay. Now, if you could kill someone, like if you're the villain and you could kill someone in a really unique way, what would you do? You can't say slam their heads in a door or set them on fire.
It's just funny because these are the type of things that I usually do in shows and movies. I've drowned people, I've slit people's throats, I've killed people. I do all these crazy
things. Which one do you enjoy most?
Yeah, I know, right? It's like Tom Savini. He's like, I feel like an assassin. They pay me to kill people. How would I kill someone? Oh man, it would have to be pretty heavy duty. Obviously, it
would be your signature move, if you will.
Oh wow. Probably rip somebody's head off.
Okay.
Like just come up behind him, like with my Rambo, like with my hands and nails, just from behind and just like start at the throat and just snap. That'd be pretty rad.
Ooh. Okay. All right. I'm digging that. All right. Okay. My last question is, do you have any last words for the viewers?
Oh yeah. Thanks for checking it out. I appreciate it. I dig all the questions. I love the stories. I wish we had more time to talk to everybody, but we'll definitely do it again soon. And hopefully, once we get through this year, next year should be much better. I mean, I know everybody's got the rose goggles and they can't wait for 2021, but I think it's going to be cool. I think this is temporary nonsense. We'll be done with all the bullshit. We'll be seeing each other again at the conventions, and we'll be back at it, man. It'll be fucking awesome.
Hell yeah. I'm ready to travel again. I'm done with this shit. I'm so done.
I know, man. We had so many conventions lined up and so many things, and they all got postponed and it sucked. But whatever, it's temporary.
Yeah,
it's not forever. This isn't the new normal. If I hear that again, I'm gonna kill somebody.
You're gonna rip somebody's throat out.
Yeah, hell yeah. This is the new normal. Bullshit. No, it ain't. No, it's not.
Oh my gosh. Well, I would absolutely love to have you on again, without a doubt.
Totally.
So,
hell yeah.
And I don't just do interviews on this show. I also have game nights that I do on this show that are horror related, and I do movie reviews. So you don't necessarily have to come back on for another interview. If you just want to like shoot this shit and just hang out and play a game with us or do a movie review, you can always come back to that too if you'd like.
Very cool. Yeah, we will definitely do something as the new year approaches for sure. Definitely.
Well, thank you so much, Jimmy, for coming on. I appreciate it, and I'm going to finish that movie. You guys who have not seen the movie yet, get your asses in the description box and click on the link for Box. There's two of them. One's for the Facebook page, and the other is for the YouTube link that goes to the Kings of I already lost it in my mind. Thank you. I was going to say Scream for some minute, and I was like, no, that's wrong. Don't say it. So
that's false advertising.
Yeah, that's why I had to stop. I don't want to spread fake news. But anyway.
You are fake news. Fake news.
It's going to be great. We're going to build a wall around the fake news, and we're going to make the trolls pay for it. I'm going to do the happy seal. That's what I call it, the happy seal.
Yeah, right. That's it.
I'm going to stop now.
He's a New York guy.
Oh my gosh. All right, you guys. Thank you guys for joining again this week. I so appreciate it. Come back tomorrow night. I'm going to have Matt Anderson from Terribly Awesome Awful back on, and we're going to review Gremlins. And then Thursday we're going to have trivia night, and Friday we're going to go over and cook again and watch me make another fool of myself. So yay. Okay, guys, I hope you guys have a great evening. I hope you have a great evening, too. Well, you're probably going to go to bed soon because it's later where you're at. So.
Oh, I don't sleep. I don't go to bed.
I know what that feels like.
Insomnia, it's a real thing.
Oh, it's great.
I might miss something. If I go to sleep, I'll miss something. Always happens. I'll wake up, I'll miss like 10 freaking emails. I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch. Really?
Yeah. They tell me it's ADD. I just drink more coffee and go, what?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Yeah.
What are you talking about? Birds. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow night. Love you, creepy bastards.
Absolutely.